Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video, and today we are taking on Dare to Defy 5. And of course, now they start to give you this warning message that if you don't open up the Shinryu, they won't clear it for you. So I had to figure that one out the hard way, but I don't care here, I'm just hopping in right away. I know I'm going to redo the other one again anyways, because I want the ticket mission. So to me, it's still kind of pointless. Like I said this before, I feel like it's kind of pointless to clear it for you if they're not going to give you the ticket mission. I mean, for some players it matters, because there's players that aren't going to want to use Strago and they don't care about the ticket mission. They do want to get a bolt done at once, which is fine. So here for Dare to Defy, I still had Ashe open because I did not use Ashe on her Spiritus fight. And Ashe pairs really, really well with Strago. And I wanted to try to feature Strago here as much as I could. So, and then I brought Selphie as a really nice support. Now, one thing with these enemies is they want you to use magic damage. I think they have 99% brave damage reduction against physical, which I used the physical damage dealer in my main run, which I'll post as well, probably the day after this one goes up. And it was fine. As long as you have brave gains, it doesn't really matter. But you do need to brave, shave, and break somehow, unless you're going to no-turn the enemies, which you definitely can do. And I believe in this run, well, I know in my other run I for sure no-turn them. I don't remember if I think I no-turn them here too. I'm pretty sure I just completely no-turn these bosses, because the thing is I wasn't sure how this fight would operate. And look at that. I mean, the Saber Soul's doing good damage, right? Like 1.5 mil AoE there. Very good on that EX, and we got that EX right away because of Ashe. And then we've got Selphie here to force charge and put the launching on, and just helps us do a lot of damage, right? Now, this fight has had different iterations in the past. There's been fights in the past where you have to kill the defense node first because it heals up the boss. There's been some where you have to kill the attack node first. There's some where you just have to target and go after the boss. I wasn't really sure how this one was going to operate. I just noticed the right node is doing an all attack, which I'm going to assume is going to be like an HP attack on the party. The defense node is doing an all buff, and I'm assuming that that all buff is probably going to heal everybody. So I kind of just didn't want anybody to get a turn. So I just start force charging like crazy and try to get into a force charge here, or force time as quick as I can. And we're obviously going to use Ashe force time here. It's the only force I've got. I do not have Strago's force time, right? So Selphie's just going to keep charging, use my walls. Selphie's so good too because like you get her EX ability, which is also a free instant turn, so you can pop that in between, gives her more longevity, more charging for free. Just a very good character. Alright, so we're charged up. So then Selphie's going to Rapture, which is going to apply the LD buff. And it pushes the enemies back, which is really good that it has the delay on there, right? Okay, and then now it's like, yeah, we could just go force time here. I did bring a Mid-Italian to delete turns, so yeah, I'm pretty sure we just no-turn this. And because here's the other reason I wanted to no-turn the boss. It's because we have characters like Ashe that are featured that have turn manipulation and paralyze. A Mid-Italian is featured who has turn deletion, so I'm like, in my head, I'm like, they probably don't want you to let these guys take legitimate turns. So I'm like, I better just play it like that to be safe and just not give them any turns. And that's basically what we do here. Like, this fight really isn't that hard because as long as you don't give them turns and you could just play speedy or turn manipulation characters, I think Jessie might work pretty well here. Although Jessie doesn't do magic damage, but her turn manipulation and delay I think would operate very well here, even if she isn't doing a ton of brave damage. If you have other like magic damage dealers, you're probably fine. But yeah, we just play it safe here, and the bosses don't have like a ton of health. Like they go, you can see like we just started force time, they're already at 90%. And then, you know, when you've got this AoE damage demon here, Strago, I mean, he does look very good in this fight. I mean, that's the whole idea. And we've got basically that Ashe's version of the heavy prayer on him, giving us extra true damage, and then we're getting launching on top of it. Yeah, and at this point, I'm like, yeah, I think I can just no-turn this, so I'm just going to target the boss like crazy. Now, they do go into this defense mode here, where, so I timed this pretty bad, because I didn't realize what this defense mode was, but we're going to deal ones. So, what you need to do to kind of snap out of this is you need to use an instant break attack. So, what they're pushing is Strago's Brave to Death or his LD. So on Strago's next turn, we go ahead and break them. Because right now they're at an even Brave, but here's the thing, when you're hitting ones, it's very easy to put them at an odd number. Alright, so yeah, you can see right now they're like all at an odd number. So Brave 2 Death doesn't work here, which is the thing I don't like about it. Like, there's so many characters that just have free instant breaks. We do the LD, which is a free instant break. So we have to break that sucker out. And then big damage. And now that we broke them out of that, now we're dealing more than just ones, and we're back to dealing normal damage again. So that's how they're pushing Strago. They want you to have an instant break ability, but once again, there's plenty of characters that have that. You definitely don't need Strago here. I think Renoa would do really well in this fight because she does very good AoE magic damage. As long as you just have a character that can kind of get around and break them when they go into that defense mode, I think you'd be fine. But I use Strago here just because I know I'm probably not going to use him anywhere else. The fight is meant for him. So I might as well use him here on Dare to Defy. And then I also use him on the regular version because I want the ticket mission, right? Alright, so now we go ahead and lay down the EX for some Paralyze. So even if they do get a turn, they're going to get paralyzed out. Actually, I think they were... I think they're full of debuffs. They may not have even taken the Paralyze there, but it doesn't matter. I don't think we give them a turn, because now I've got Rama Summon to back it up, and I'm going to have like a really high percent on my gauge. So the Rama Summon should do good damage. That would also Paralyze, but yeah, they're like completely full of buff/debuffs. It's unfortunate they've got that one frame buff. We can't debuff over that. And I didn't bring any type of Dispel, which is fine. It's just like one defense buff, not a big deal. But yeah, I kind of said, yeah, let's just go after the main node here. Because they all seem pretty tanky. Like, they all felt like they had about the same amount of health. When I did the Lufenia ones, the nodes were way weaker. They went down in like one hit, basically. But on this fight, the nodes have a lot of health. So, some more free launch damage there. We'll take that. Yeah, so up to 528. Now, this piercing laser comes through, and I'm like, ooh, what is that? But we've got Selphie, so we've got plenty of healing. So, I'm not worried about it. We just have to survive. So, I'm like, all right, let's pop the summon here. And then, yeah, 3 mil AoE, pretty decent. I'm pretty sure Brothers is still the hardest hitting summon, but Rama's got Paralyzed with it, which is pretty good. Once again, we're not seeing it because the enemies are completely full of buffs and debuffs, but yeah, now we're just dishing out massive damage here. And basically, by the time this Force time ends, I mean, we about got him dead, right? Like, he's already at 12%. And this is Ashe Force, which is not, like, one of the best Force times in the game. Like, there are way better Forces you could use. So this is just a pretty dang easy fight. I would say the fact that this very non-optimized Ashe FR, because I could have optimized it more by going into an actual Ashe burst, and I didn't, because I wanted to use Strago a little bit and let him feature some of the damage here, right? Yeah, now we're full healed. We killed the main boss in one force. Now in this fight, you do have to kill the nodes. So I kind of decide I want to focus more, I think, on that. Well, I think I just balance it evenly. Because a lot of my attacks are AoE damage, and if I go down to single target, then I'm just losing damage with characters, right? So I was just checking to make sure I had Soul of Tomasa up still, so we just go ahead and use a Quasar here, just for some damage. And so even against 2 enemies, like, his damage is still good. It's going to be like a mil AoE, right? Like, Strago does good damage, it's just there's other damage dealers that do more for the party that can put up similar numbers to him. Like, if I just think of Pinello right off my bat, right? Like, if I have Pinello, I don't see myself ever using Strago. I think once Strago gets a BT, he could be really nasty. And like I said this before, I think whenever he gets his BT, if they do something in his kit to allow him to recharge his EX instantly, to get multiple EXs during his burst phase, I think would be really, really legit for this guy. Would be really good. Like, what if his BT effect was basically like Bahamut Summon, where you just had instant EXs like all the time, and he could just spam EX. Like, that essentially, we could think of it then as his BT would basically be like Pinello or Machina, where he's getting like a really busted attack. Like, if they did that, and he could spam EX for an entire burst phase, dude, he would do so much damage in a 3-target fight. I think that's what they need to do with Strago, is make his BT effect that his EX does not lose charge when he uses it. I think that would be busted. So, like, make his FR, like, instantly charge his EX. Or it could be part of his FR effect, right? It could be his well, no, he's already got an FR and it's not a part of that. So, yeah, make his BT effect that it instant charges it and then it doesn't lose charge. I would like that. Okay, so now we're just going through. I decide, you know, you can see I've got a bunch of turns built up because I delayed them a bunch during that force time and everything during the summon. So I'm just going to go and spam, like, basically into another force time here right away just to do it. basically stall out with every little free instant turn attack I can. And then we'll have Strago, and then Ashe will just use her FR again, and then it shouldn't take too much to finish these guys off at, 35 to 40%. And having this launch damage the whole way was really nice with the Brave gains. I mean, we did a lot of damage off of the launching, so Selphie was really nice here. It's been a while since I've used her in the party. This was a really nice spot for her. Being that it's Dare to Defy, I can't just bring, Pinello every time. And I thought this team right here actually just made a really nice team comp. It really gave us everything we needed. And it was pretty nice. It was a good team. Did not mind this for my Dare to Defy run. And I don't see myself... Like, Selphie's the only one where I could be like, oh man, I wish I had her. But this is Dare to Defy 5. We only got like 2 more stages left. And I don't think they're going to be crazy hard. And once again, I'll just have whatever the featured characters are. I'll try to at least use that character. And then, I'll just fill in with some other good support units and we're good to go. Or just BT... Like, I've got so many good characters I haven't even used yet. So, yeah, this Dare to Defy was like a million times easier than the other one for sure. For sure it was. Alright, so now we should be ready to hop into our force. Yep, we're in our force right now. So now we'll just go through and finish these guys off. And once again, they've got turns coming up, but they're not going to get to those turns. They are not going to get to those turns. As we go through all the launch damage. Yeah, we'll take the little 28% there. That's fine. And then Strago, yeah, Saber Soul. This will be big damage here. I do really like his EX. Like, it hits really freaking hard. Once again, get this guy into an AoE fight. He's looking pretty good. Alright, yeah, 3.6 mil, not too bad. The thing is I was using him side by side with Pinello in my normal run, which, like I said, you'll see that come up probably the day after this one. And Pinello just flat out was out damaging him. It was pretty bad. Just like, and I mean, she's the anniversary character, right? Like, she should be like ridiculously busted, but it just shows you that Strago needs a bit more to be like a really desired DPS character. Not that he can't be good. It's just he needs a little bit more. Alright, so we're going to go through Paralyze here just in case they would get a turn. But yeah, I'm like, yeah, let's just finish and use Ashe's actual burst phase now. And we're at 7 turns. So like, yeah, we showcase Strago. Now we'll just do Ashe. So Ashe's BT is going to finish it for sure. We'll have more than enough damage here to get these guys done. So that was pretty nice too, going through the first force time without using Ashe BT. Now we had it at the end to just kind of finish these nodes off. And yeah, this was a no-turn fight. Yeah, those additionals are very powerful too. I was actually pretty impressed with Ashe's damage, like the more that I've used her. Like when you feature her with her force and her BT, she can output some really good numbers when she's got her BT follow-up and everything going. Which we had for a couple attacks here. But yeah, so we're in that mode where we're dealing ones and we're not going to break them, doesn't matter. The launch damage coming through, we've got Brave gains. Yeah, there's just plenty of damage here, even though we can't really do Brave damage to them. That's not nearly as threatening as it used to be. Like, back when they did this in Lufenia era, it was really tough because Lufenia era was all about, like, really negating Brave gains and, like, stifling that. So then when you couldn't deal Brave damage, it was really bad in that era. But right now it's fine. We can Brave gain. We're all good. So, I mean, we do take it pretty much to the end because we don't do nearly as much damage without the Brave damage, but once again, it's still plenty of damage, right? So I'm like, let's just Heaven Wraths here. That was probably a bad choice, but because it did, like, all ones. But the launch damage comes through and it's still very good because Selphie providing the Brave gains here. Yep, there's one node down. You can see we only did 24 Brave damage. And it's like, sure, let's just do the FR attack, and then we basically got it done. So anyways, you guys can let me know how your Dare Defy is going, which team you used on this one. But yeah, I found this fight pretty easy. Now that being said, I didn't let the enemies take a turn. I assume if the enemies take turns, it can probably get pretty nasty. Because I'm sure that defense node is going to heal or at least Brave gain them. And the attack node is probably going to deal direct HP damage, I would assume. But yeah, I mean, this cycle is featured so much like turn manipulation and paralyze and delay that it's like, yeah, this is going to be a pretty easy cycle because those are all tactics for no turning bosses. So if they want you to do that and they let you do it, the fights go pretty easy, right? So I'll let my team screen come up here. I think I show like what my builds are for everybody. And my Strago, like I don't even have his artifacts done yet at this point. I did finish them by the time I'm recording this, but they're not done in this video because this was literally like right after his character guide. I just went in and did this really quick. But yeah, there you go, guys. So let me know how your runs are going. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.